What's up everybody, Yogi here. Today I got for you guys my SS rank Renegon Sasuke Impact Guide. Now before we get into it, I need to clarify a few things. First of all, this mission is horrible. It's truly horrible because if you guys know me, you know that I love using the bare minimum when it comes to my guides so that I can help out more people. And when I'm telling you that this is the bare minimum, that should be saying something. That is pretty sad. Also, that being said, before anyone asks me, I don't have this unit, what can I substitute them with? I'm going to ask you to bear with me so I can explain what their roles are, and you can go from there to see, what you can work with based on your box. But long story short, the answer is probably going to be Kaguya or Final Valley Naruto for almost all the substitutions. Like, you need AoE, but they are hands down two of the most important units here. So when it comes to Sasuke on map 1 and pretty much every map afterwards, he's going to have 100% resistance to slip damage, immobilizing, and jutsu sealing. That being said, for Sasuke on the first map here, he has 20% chance of substituting from your attacks and then a 3,000 point defensive barrier. Now when I say defensive barrier, what that means is if you deal less than 3,000 damage, you're only going to be dealing 1 damage to him. Everything else over that, it's going to hurt him, but he's basically taking 3,000 less damage than he would be taking in general. So my Kakashi, you'll see him damaging him a little bit because after the calculation of heart versus skill, he is doing more than 3k. As it goes on, however, with the other maps, he gets more and more defensive barrier, more substitution on the second map for sure. And those are just some of the things that make this raid so much longer than it needs to be. The fact that he will have 10,000 defense constantly on the final maps, along with ongoing substitution, is what really makes this raid so hard. Now, the important thing to note here is how long it took me to do this before you guys attempt it. Like, if you can match this team, you gotta be prepared for how long this will take. My first run, when I didn't know what I was doing, took me 3 hours. After I figured it out, it took me over an hour and a half, which is the run you are watching right now. The reason it took me so long is because I had to keep resetting for hits on Sasuke because of his substitution. Now the only units I have that can ignore substitution is Madara, 6p Naruto, and Final Valley Naruto. Madara ignores substitution and destroys perfect dodge and barrier on his jutsu, which is one of the reasons why I brought him. He's very handy for that. Final Valley Naruto, you're gonna have to be stalling up for his ultimate versus his jutsu because his jutsu ignores substitution, sure, but it does not ignore barrier, which means his jutsu will be doing next to nothing on Sasuke, so ultimate's only on the last map for him. And then 6p Naruto, he ignores substitution and perfect dodge on his ultimate, but he doesn't ignore barrier. Whereas his jutsu ignores barrier, but doesn't ignore substitution. So if you guys followed me there, what I'm trying to say is 6p Naruto is helpful here, but it's either his jutsu has a chance of missing or his ultimate is going to be dealing at least 20,000 less damage than it would normally be doing to Sasuke. Now when it comes to finishing off Sasuke on map 1, you do not need to worry about having all of your ultimates ready because you're going to be stuck on the second map for a while anyway. He does have a lot of HP, so it's nice to have your ultimates ready before you get onto the second map, but it is not necessary. On to the second map here, we have just Sasuke once again. This time the differences he has from the first version of him on map 1 is that he has a 30% chance of dodging instead of 20, and then he has 5,000 defense instead of 3,000 defense. And then also, instead of him performing regular attacks, he's going to be doing a jutsu every single turn, which does 3,000 base damage, but since you're going to be more than likely running heart units, that's at least 1,500 damage you will be taking from each hit. So that is why you want to make sure that you have a lot of healing to offset the amount of damage he's going to be dealing to you. Now, when it comes to my team and breaking it down for you guys, first thing that's important to note here is all of my team members except Kakashi has healing of some sort. 6p Madara has a 250 buddy heal. Hashirama, which is Blazing Awoken, has a 250 self heal. Madara has a 200 buddy heal. Final Valley Naruto has a 500 self heal, and then 6p Naruto has 600 self heal with 200 at maximum field heal for my allies. So once you add that all up, the most amount of HP I can heal in a turn is 2,200. But with the way my setup is currently right now, having 6p Naruto in the back, I'm still getting 1,800 HP every turn, therefore offsetting the amount of damage that Sasuke is dealing to me. Now, the best person to stall with in this case is Final Valley Naruto, because he has that 5% chance of getting back chakra sooner, which can speed up the run a little bit more. It's not a problem since I am out healing the amount of damage Sasuke is dealing. Otherwise, Hashirama is the best next person to stall with because he has damage reduction. Now, going over the units and who to specifically replace with who, Final Valley Naruto is the helper here. You really want to bring him because he's literally made for this impact. Is it possible to beat it without him? Yes, but you're going to have to be doing a lot of stuff with 6p Madara, removing the barriers before you go for ultimate and stuff like that. When it comes to 6p Naruto, he is here for his insane healing. Of course, I've said that his jutsu and ultimate are very helpful here. I'm going to be using his jutsu a lot on the last map to regenerate chakra, specifically for my 6p Madara. When it comes to 6p Madara, his jutsu also allows you to avoid damage from ninjutsu and secret techniques for 2 turns. So I'm going to be using that to avoid taking damage from Sasuke mostly. Now, the problem with that, of course, is it depends on if I can keep getting resets to keep it up long enough. Otherwise, that's where Hashirama comes in. He can tank the hits. Even though he is a heart unit, I really needed that extra damage reduction on his skills, so that is why he's still Blazing Awoken. Otherwise, if he was his PvE, his first version, I could get 450 HP every turn instead of the 250 I'm currently getting. When it comes to regular Heart Madara here, he is literally the weakest link in my case, at least since he's not duped. Just because he has that buddy heal for 200, but he does not have the ability to ignore substitution, barriers, or any of the stuff that Sasuke keeps putting up. On top of that, his chakra cost is very high, so if you have all of the units here, including Kaguya and your own Final Valley Naruto, I highly recommend replacing Madara with Kaguya. On top of that, she can also regenerate chakra off her ultimate, which can help add more chakra to your 6p Madara with tanking. Now, best case scenario when it comes to stalling in the place of Hashirama is a second 6p Madara if you have him. I know a lot of people don't, me included. So yeah, that's why this raid is really hard, because you have very limited options on what you can bring here, and the fact that 5 out of my 6 ninja have healing on them should be saying something. Anyway, for the rest of map 2, I need to make sure that I have all of my ultimates ready to go, and I'm going to finish off Sasuke with Final Valley Naruto. It does not matter if I use his jutsu or ultimate, as long as I get rid of him with Naruto. On to the final map here, we have 3 versions of Sasuke appearing along with 4 HP bars, or at least 4 symbols symbolizing the levels to this. Now they're all going to put up that 100% resistance to jutsu, sealing, immobilizing, and slip damage. They're also going to get that 10,000 points of defense onto them. No substitution. So now what I'm going to do is start off with my Kakashi's ultimate, making sure to position him close to Final Valley Naruto and Hashirama. Therefore he has a 950 attack boost. So that is going to increase his damage quite a bit. Sadly, they all still live it. That just showing you how crazy this raid is. 1,000, like near 1,000 attack boost, and still not enough to take them out. Now they're all going to do their jutsus, which give them a barrier, substitution chance, and an attack boost. Now you need to get rid of the other Sasukes as soon as possible. Thankfully, they all have a 4-turn countdown. This is where you're going to have to reset the app under most circumstances. If you miss any of them, you really want to make sure you hit all 3 of them. But in this case, I decided to go against it just because it's 1 Sasuke left. I know I can finish him off with 1 jutsu and it's good. But for the other levels of Sasuke's, you're going to have to reset to make sure that works. Now we can start getting on to the stalling sequence. I'm going to stall first with Hashirama here so you guys can see what Sasuke's going to do. He does 2 regular attacks, follows up with a jutsu that gives him perfect dodge, and then does his ultimate. Right after that, he has support, which he will boost up his attack and substitution, giving him also a barrier along with that. And that is literally his attack pattern. He has a continuous of 4. He has that support where he's going to give himself back the barrier and increase his attack again, at least until it gets to max. And then that will be the pattern you're dealing with. So what you want to do at this point is whenever the continuous says 2 or 1 and it is your 6th Madara's turn, you want to go out there and use his jutsu. That way, when Sasuke uses his jutsu or ultimate, you will be able to avoid it completely, not taking any damage whatsoever. Once his countdown says 3 and it is your turn with 6th Madara, that is when you're going to have to move him out of the way and then switch in Hashirama to take the hit. So as you see right there, it says 3 countdown, so this is when I have to remove him and have Hashirama tank the hit. He is the best person here to do that. Now, whether I said it earlier or not, 6th Madara to replace Hashirama can very well work because he will also allow you to continue stalling longer against Sasuke, and you don't have to worry about taking any damage if you have at least 2 of them. So now it just turns into a constant rinse and repeat of the same thing over and over again, that I'm going to use Madara to tank the attacks from Sasuke so I take no damage, and then once he has that 1 opening and I can't use my Madara to avoid the attack, that's where Hashirama comes in to tank the attack. And I will continually do this while I save up for the Final Valley Naruto's ultimate, and then I will keep using his ultimate whenever I get the chance, preferably once my 6th Madara is out so he gets chakra regeneration, because Naruto does over 15 hit combo with that ultimate. And every time I do it, I make sure that I am next to either Madara or Hashirama. I usually leave them around the center of the stage while Madara is in the top right, stalling against Sasuke. Now, the few other times you actually have a chance of damaging Sasuke aside from Naruto is whenever you use your jutsu with Madara and his shields are down. You can go ahead and use either your Hashirama or your Madara's ultimate. Madara's ultimate is very, very risky, however, because if you use it at the wrong placement, Sasuke can have AoE later on in the maps and he will hit both your units, which means you're going to lose. You would have to reset at that point. So very hard to do with Madara. That's why, again, if you have Kaguya instead of him, it will be even better because you can use it from a safe distance once Madara gets the shields down and deal damage to him that way. Also, you have 6th Naruto with his ultimate, but again, if you're going to go for that, be wary of your 6th Madara's situation to make sure that he has enough chakra to continue on with the pattern. Now, when it comes to finishing off Sasuke here, I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to do this for every single last wave, that I have both my Hashirama and Final Valley Naruto around the middle of the map. That way, once I get onto the next wave, my Kakashi can use his ultimate and get that 950 attack boost once again. Onto the second wave of Sasuke's, they are all going to put up the same resistances that they did on the first wave, and they're going to continue doing this for the rest of the waves. Now I'm going to use Kakashi's ultimate, once again getting that 950 attack boost, and it's going to hit all of them because they don't have their substitution up. Now they're going to go ahead and put that up, get the attack boost and barrier along with that. I'm going to follow up with my Hashirama's ultimate just to be able to destroy the barriers that they have, and he will still deal some damage thanks to the final Valley version of Naruto, him giving them that attack boost. I'll follow up with 6p Naruto's jutsu here, which will be enough to finish off the Sasuke there. And now I will use Madara's jutsu closer to the right side so that Taga Sasuke will target him, and I can finish him off with Madara's jutsu. I had to use his jutsu instead of ultimate just so I wouldn't be getting comboed by Akatsuki Robe Sasuke here, because he is AoE on both his jutsu and ultimate. Now, the one thing I figured out about him that is different from all the other ones is that he seems to ignore substitution. All the other ones I was able to dodge on, but not him out of the 2 times I've run through this at all. So that being said, you can see what I do to take him out, but it's pretty much going to be the same thing I did on the previous wave. Onto the third wave of Sasuke's, they're going to put up all those resistances again. Going to follow up with my Kakashi's ultimate once they are done. Again, they will not be dodging because on the first turn is the one time they will not have their substitution jutsu activated. After that, I'm going to cut off the times 2 speed and make sure that I hit all of them with my Madara's ultimate, because during this little opening I have here, I can go for Madara's ultimate and then switch back to Hashirama so that he can tank the hit from Rinnegan Sasuke. Now he is for sure also double AoE, so you need to make sure you keep your units far away from him. Pretty much all the Sasuke's, what they have in common is their AoE jutsus are a straight shot across the map, and then their ultimates all seem to be mid-range circles in front of them. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and use Final Valley Naruto's ultimate, but he still lived with just a little bit of HP, so you're going to see a cut to me fast forwarding when I had his ultimate ready once again, just to save you guys some time. Otherwise, you would have been sitting here watching the same thing happen over and over again, just a really long stall period. Onto the fourth wave of Sasuke is just going to be him by himself. He's going to be doing the exact same attack pattern as the previous Sasuke, so I'm going to handle it the same way. At most, when he uses his ultimate and he has his attack boosted as high as he can get, he will be dealing over 11,000 damage, which is just insane. That is why you have to be very careful here, and around this point in time, this is when I had to do a lot of resets just to make sure that I was hitting him whenever I use my ultimates or 6-path Naruto's jutsu to regenerate chakra. Another thing I wanted to bring to your guys' attention that you are about to see, that Sasuke is going to attack my Hashirama and push him downward, and then after he does that, he's going to hit both Hashirama and Kakashi with his jutsu. So that's just another thing to be aware of that can happen to you. If it does, resetting it will let you have a whole nother chance, because he's going to attack randomly every time. Because Sasuke lived that ultimate just barely, I decided from this point to go ahead and use Kakashi's jutsu to finish him off. Otherwise I would have been stalling here way longer than I needed to. And now we are on to the 5th and final wave of Sasuke based off of the banner version. Now he still has the exact same attack pattern as the other Sasukes. The difference here is his jutsu will deal over 10,000 damage and his ultimate will deal 15,000 base damage once his attack power is as high as possible. Now Hashirama is able to tank that, but this is definitely down to the wire here with what I had to do, because I had to keep, resetting a lot just to make sure my Madara had the jutsus ready, because I was able to out heal with that 2200 regeneration I have going on, but once you get to the last map, even that is not enough to keep up with the amount of damage Sasuke is dishing out. So that is pretty much everything you need to know with Sasuke's SS rank. Hopefully this guide will help you out to understand what he's doing and what you need to do to be able to beat him. This is a very, very challenging raid without your own Final Valley Naruto or Kaguya. So if you are running the same team as me and you're able to beat it, or you still farm him to max, kudos to you. Good luck to you guys, because it does take a lot of willpower to keep going on farming him with something like this. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe before you go. Peace.
That's right.